joined here today by victorious Ricky Bandejas coming off the big win over Frans Mlambo at Bellator 240. Thanks so much for joining me, man. How are you?
Good. How about you? Thank you for having me.
Of course, man. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Let's talk about Bellator Dublin a little bit. Was this your first time going over to Ireland?
Yeah, it's the first time fighting out of the States, First time going to Ireland and overseas at all.
Yeah, it seems weird to think this is your first time going to Ireland. It seems like they're always matching you up against the Irish dudes and everything.
Yeah, I agree. It seems like I have my own little battle against the Irish people.
And obviously we will get to that, but first things first, talk about the fight a little bit. It's been like a little over a week now. How do you look back at your performance in the fight?
I'm happy with it. We got the finish, and that's all I look for, 15 minutes. And if I get the knockout in the last minute, I'm happy. A win's a win in my book.
And at what point in the fight did you know that it was in the bag, like you had it? Because it looked like he was protesting at the end, but on your end, at what point did you know that it was going to be your victory?
Once he dropped, the ref jumped in pretty fast. And, of course, he protests, like he doesn't remember much. But if you watch the fight, he was out cold, he was stiff as a board. So, once I dropped him, I knew that was going to be the end.
And so what happens to you mentally during the fight when you see him drop? I mean, it's the attack mode, is just going off your reflexes? What happens to you mentally when you see that?
Just go off your training, your reflexes. You see an opening and, it's full force for the finish.
And what did you think when you saw him get up and start protesting? I mean, did it make you think of the fight in the other way, or was it just like, just let him do his thing?
My first instinct, because you don't remember much, is I'm like, wow, maybe it was an early stoppage. But then my corner said, no way, he was totally out. And then when you watch it back, you see that it wasn't early stoppage at all.
And so when you did think it was an early stoppage, did that take away from your win a little bit in your mind? Like, did it feel like, maybe it wasn't quite the clean ending you were hoping for right at that moment?
Yeah, because I never want a controversial decision, or win. So I like to make it, cemented that he was out and it wasn't an early stoppage. But so you get a little bummed out, but once I watched it, I was very happy with it.
And so what did you think about the crowd out there? Like, you're always fighting these SBG guys, got the stories going with them. What did you think of the Irish crowd out there?
I loved it, man. They might not have been on my side, but the energy they bring, and they get so into the fights, and the place erupts. And for a fighter, that's exactly what you want.
And you mentioned it was your first time fighting outside of the States, but did it feel different? Did it have a different vibe out there than what you normally have?
Nah, the only thing different is the travel and the plane. Weight cut was there. Just a lot of things you got to adjust to, because you got to think, it's not my typical food or water. My typical weight cut stuff. It's out there. You guys, there was different foods and stuff. It was just different environment. Something I got to get used to.
And I'm always curious about this, but how did you deal with your weight cut, during the flights? I've heard of guys, water loading during the flights and everything. What was it like for you at that point?
I didn't make any adjustments for the flight, which is where I think I might have messed up a little bit. But normally I just drink a lot of water load and cut weight. But next I think I'll just head out, if I go international, head out a little lighter.
And did you feel a difference, with the time difference and everything? Like maybe in the United States you'd be fighting at normally around a different time. Did it feel different for you?
No, I didn't see that, a difference in that. I guess because you have all week to catch up on your sleep and you get used to the time frame out there, that I didn't notice a difference.
All right, and the one thing I did want to talk to you about is, of course, what seems to be like this Ricky versus SBG storyline that's going on. I mean, do you feel like at this point it's kind of inevitable that you have to keep fighting these SBG guys at this point?
Yeah, man, it's a story. If you like stories, it sells. And if I got to make a career off of these guys, and so be it. I'm totally up for it, I know there's a lot of them at that gym.
And so did you have anyone from his team say anything to you after the fight? 'Cause we know that sometimes there are things that go on behind the scenes. Did anything like that happen?
No, just I saw James after. He was very respectful, very nice. Congrats on the win. I think guy Brian Moore from the gym was calling me out, saying he wants to fight. So other than that, everybody was pretty respectful, and that's it,
And, of course, one of the biggest names that seems like he really wants that rematch is, of course, James Gallagher. Do you think that's a rematch we're going to see at some point, or was the first fight final enough that there's no need for a rematch?
For me, it doesn't matter. It's up to him. I know he has his game plan when he fights me. I'll fight anybody, and whoever Bellator calls me with is the guy. So if James wants it, I'm sure Bellator would go about it and send it my way, and I can beat the same guy 10 times. I'm just looking to fight, get paid.
And so at this point in your career, you are coming off of 2 wins in a row. I believe the first one was a right hook finish. This one's a left hook finish. What's been going right for you in these fights?
I'm just, I'm a gamer, man. I'm just, when I fight, I'm looking for 15 minutes of just do what it takes to win, and now that I'm down to ATT, I have a lot more confidence in my last 2 fights. I'm training with the best guys in the world every day, and I truly understand how good I really am.
And so how different is it for you now? You mentioned training at ATT.
Like I said, biggest thing is confidence, and I got good coaches. They show me little techniques that make a big difference. And the fact that you're just mixing it up with the best jiu-jitsu guys, best fighters, best MMA guys. And, you get to see where you stand, where you make it with these guys. And it just helps me personally, mentally.
And who are some of the guys that you train with over at ATT, like your main partners?
There's a couple. There's a guy named Danny. He's up-and-coming pro. Kid Chase, Pedro Munez I mix around with. There's just literally a list of probably 30 people. There's so many guys that every day it's a new guy. It's a new look, and I think that benefits too.
And so now that you're coming off this win over Frans, I mean, there's people talking. Obviously, the SBG storyline is getting talked about a lot. But what did this win do for your career at this point?
It just felt good, man. Going out to Ireland, and the odds were against me. I'm in their territory and fighting their guy. It felt good to get the win. And it just shows that, I don't want to take anything away from Frans. He was very tough, but on my worst days, his best day, we were able to get the job done. So it just shows that, we have a bright future if I keep training at ATT and kill what I've been doing the last 6 months.
And, before the 2-fight winning streak, obviously you had the fights against Archuleta, you had the fight against Mix. What did you learn from those fights?
Archuleta, before, that showed that I belong with these the top guys, Archuleta was 21-1 at the time on a streak, trained with, TJ Dillashaw, best guys in the world. So going out there, I didn't really believe in myself. But, when I was able to get that close, have a close fight with him, I realized how good I am. And then Pat Mix, man, it's just the name of the game. The guy's tough, take no credit away from him, but, it got submitted in a minute. It's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. I'm sure me and him will cross paths again down the road, and I bet it's a different outcome.
And you mentioned a lot of the mental stuff, like, the mentality, the confidence and everything. Do you work on anything in particular to sort of, keep that confidence up and keep yourself, mentally sharp in this fight game?
Nothing particular for my mental game, but just grinding with tough guys, going in there when I'm tired in the gym, and I'm always looking to push myself. When I'm dead tired, I look to do another round. I look to run another mile. Stuff like that helps me mentally on a fight night.
All right, and when do you think we'll see you back out there in the cage again?
Hopefully as soon as possible. Whenever Bellator wants to give me a fight. If it's next week, I think if it's in the month, whenever, as soon as possible.
All right, and I have just one more for you. Ideally, Bellator come up to you, they ask you, who do you want next at this point? Who do you call out? I mean, who do you think ideally is the next fight for yourself?
Like I said, it doesn't matter to me, but if I got the pick, I'd want one of the top guys, a big name, Sergio Pettis, Pat Mix fight again, Archuleta. I know I lost them, but I can't wait to cross paths with them two again. And whoever's the top dog in the division, I know they just signed a lot of good guys and a lot of prospects, so I can't wait to just mix it up with all of them.
All right, sounds good. Well, we look forward to seeing what's next for you. Congratulations on the win, man. Thank you for the time. I really appreciate it.
No way, man. Thank you for having me. I truly appreciate it, and enjoy your day.